Welcome to this short video on using Postman and Excel to help in assessing the technical debt from custom code in your Salesforce org. I'm Linda Kane, a Salesforce professional with over 15 years experience. I currently have 12 Salesforce certifications and almost all the Trailhead badges. This slide shows the tooling API objects that I use to help me assess code-related technical debt in an org. In this video, I will run a query using one of these objects, but the process for each is similar, just the fields that you query may differ. So I'm not going to get too in-depth into getting connected to Postman and getting it set up. If you really need help with this, the Trailhead project, Quick Start Connect Postman to Salesforce, is an excellent resource that takes you step by step through the process of getting Postman to work with your org. I will provide a link to it in the notes from this video. So I'm actually already authorized for my org. I've got the little green button to confirm it. And within Postman, with the Salesforce platform APIs, after having authorized, I'm going to go to tooling and then the get tooling query. I actually have already pasted in my attribute or my query parameter for Q, which is the query option. This particular query is to pull off flows. I'm actually pulling all flow records. In this case, I haven't limited my query. I usually run this once in Dev Console to determine what parameters I really want for this, but I'm just going to run with all for this example. I click the send button and I get back my result if it's successful and I've formed my query well. And I can see right here, I have a size of 508 records in this result. I'm going to copy this result. I'm going to paste it into a text file so that I can use it in Excel. Once I'm done with that, I'm actually done with what I need to do in Postman. Obviously, I will have run this for multiple queries. Once I get in Excel, I want to open that JSON file into a format that will work with Excel. So I go to the data menu. I select the get data button. From there, the option from file and from JSON. I locate my file on my machine. I actually tend to save stuff in the downloads file so I can find it quickly. And I import. This is going to take me into a wizard that will guide me, not really guide me through the process, but makes available the process. So right off the bat, I can see my file and that first header is showing. And under the records, I see a clickable list, which I'm actually going to click on. This gives me a long listing of the various records. And if I were to scroll all the way down, I would see there's 508, but I can't see the details yet. I could click on each one and then I'd only get one. So up here, I'm going to use the button here that shows to table. It actually converts this list into a table, which is ultimately what I want to get to. I'm going to choose the default values. And then once I get that, I see a single column with those various records. I also see this extra little button here that's an expander. And I'm going to click on that expander and I can see all the columns available. And I'm going to say, okay. And now they're visible here on the screen. Quickly scan to see if there's any more expanders, which there's not in this case. Sometimes there are, depending on the query you run. And since I'm sure there's nothing more to expand, I can click the close and load. This will paste it into my Excel spreadsheet, and I can now work with this, or as I prefer to do, I can copy this into a new spreadsheet, paste it as values, so then I can work with it, review the results, and use it for additional analysis. I'd like to thank you for joining me for this video, and I encourage you to see the others that are part of this series on assessing technical debt.